الجمعية الآن إلى معالي السيدة ناتاليا غيرمان، نائبة رئيس الوزراء ووزيرة الخارجية والاندماج الأوروبي في جمهورية مولدوفا، فلتتفضل.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to join you today and to be part of this momentous achievement for our countries and for our organization. That is the adoption of the global post-2015 development agenda, laying out the path towards sustainable development for the next 15 years. We are here to pledge the robust action for the present and the future of our planet, with the eradication of poverty and environmental protection at its core. An important milestone for the fulfillment of this transformative agenda is the upcoming conference on climate change to be held in Paris in December this year, which will be crucial to translate environmentally related goals of our global agenda into concrete and ambitious commitments and contributions. And it will not be an overstatement to say that our generation is the first one to seriously tackle climate change and perhaps the last one to be able to do so. We must rise up to the challenge and do everything in our power to preserve the environment and to ensure people's well-being without leaving anyone behind. If the current trend in the environmental degradation continues, a global natural disintegration is imminent. The current economic and consumption patterns have proved to drive the humanity into a wrong direction, the one that is pernicious and undesirable for all of the mankind. By any measure, reconciling the economic and environmental goals and shifting to models of development that are sustainable remain a tremendous challenge for our time. This is why the post-2015 development agenda must be the turning point in the way we plan economies, exploit the natural capital, and build partnerships. The Sustainable Development Goals must go across all sectors and national policies, supplemented by defined indicators adjusted to national circumstances, as the only way to make sustainability tangible in each country and in each region. Achieving the SDGs will require a truly global partnership beyond the traditional models of cooperation, engaging everybody: the government, the civil society, the private sector, the intergovernmental organizations, and displaying more coherence and implication. Although the governments will be in the lead, this is not an agenda only or for the governments, nor is it just for the United Nations. It should be in everyone's focus, and our duty is to inspire all the stakeholders and people to make ownership of this agenda and assume the responsibility and support towards the attainment of its goals. Mr. Chairman, my country is committed to contribute to this global effort. Moldova is among the countries to have started early with the setting up of a strong legal and institutional framework to transition to sustainable practices and commence to actively introduce innovative solutions within the key areas of its economy. In the last couple of years, the government managed to upgrade the policy framework in the area of sustainable management of natural resources like agriculture, green economy, transportation, trade facilitation, and many more. In less than 5 years, in close partnership with the UNDP and the European Union, we succeeded to put in place a nationwide infrastructure for biomass energy production. This is a whole new industry that we built from scratch in such a short period of time, an industry that is altogether competitive, modern, and sustainable, and it benefits all 3 pillars of our development agenda: the economic, social, and the environmental. And this is a vivid example of a really impactful initiative and a proof that with the necessary expertise and commitment for concrete results, sustainable development is indeed tangible and can be achieved. We will carry on with durable measures to further grow this sector. About 3 years ago, the government set up an energy efficiency fund to finance modern energy projects, and this is designed to make long-term investments into the energy security of the country while reducing the ecological footprint. The scope of our initiatives is systemic and envisions the fundamental transformations of our society in line with the country's European aspirations. The implementation of the association agreement with the European Union is an overarching framework that we pursue towards this end, and the EU integration agenda and the sustainable development goals in Moldova are complementary and indivisible. The standards and regulations in all spheres of life have started to be rigorously enforced in accordance with the EU acquis and the internationally agreed norms, and we will keep a watchful eye over this process continuously. All these efforts are ultimately sought to strengthen the economic resilience and social cohesion in our country and maintain an environment of stability, prosperity, and peace that we so much want to present in our region. Mr. Chairman, the international community must step up efforts to finance the implementation of the new agenda. Without adequate financing, the current trend in raising inequalities and expecting unsustainable economic practices at the expense of the natural environment will only deteriorate. And this is something that we cannot afford. The official development assistance and foreign direct investments remain a critical input for developing countries and those in transition in their quest to fulfill the development priorities and address the setbacks. And from this perspective, in view of tackling the issue of the means of implementation, last February, the government of Moldova, in partnership with the government of Germany and the cooperation with the UNDP and International Labour Organization, hosted in Chisinau a high-level meeting of the Global Dialogue on Institutions and Capacities for the Sustainable Development. Through this joint initiative, we brought an important contribution to the post-2015 consultations, and my country stands ready to contribute and to promote this cooperation in order to ensure the implementation phase. The Global Dialogue's recommendations are pertinent and universal. Ensuring sustainability depends crucially on the character of institutions and their capacity to deliver. The core idea is that quality shall prevail over quantity in everything we do, when we set up a new service, start up a business, or even take decisions on family planning. The implementation of sustainable development goals must be a mutually learning and sharing process as well. And most importantly, we shall facilitate an inclusive communication with all stakeholders and ensure that our societies understand what sustainable development means and relate it to their daily lives, foster the necessary change at the level of individual behavior. Only in this way we will cultivate a better understanding of the tasks ahead of us and a sense of solidarity towards a common goal and a better future. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, allow me to share with you a sentiment of optimism and confidence that our joint commitment here at the United Nations for the post-2015 agenda is genuine and sincere, and that few years from now we will come again to this very assembly and voice not only our expectations and aspirations, but also the successful results from its implementation. I thank you.
أشكر نائبة رئيس وزراء جمهورية مولدوفا على بيانها. أرجو من الجمع الكريم أن يلتزم بالتوقيت المحدد للمداخلات حتى نتمكن من إنهاء المهمات التي أمامنا. شكرا. تستمع الجمعية الآن إلى معالي السيد ليون ديون نائب رئيس الوزراء ووزير العلاقات الحكوماتية